Watch the way a crowd leans toward Catherine now, and you're watching something they last did for one woman, Diana. Royal correspondents have said it for years. The warmth the public saved for Diana has quietly found a new home. She carries the causes Diana carried. She draws the crowds Diana drew. She's shaping her children the way Diana fought to. And every time it happens in public, Camilla is somewhere in the frame, watching a comparison she can never win. Stay for the moment the crowd made the handover obvious, the one even Camilla's defenders went quiet about. And near the end, the quiet sign Catherine carries it on purpose. Let's start with that first crowd. Number 1, Italy said it out loud. May 2026, Reggio Emilia, Italy. Catherine's first overseas trip since her cancer diagnosis, and the reaction was something Britain hasn't seen since the 1990s. Teachers wiped away tears when she walked into a preschool. Children rushed toward her for hugs. Women leaned out of windows just to catch a glimpse as she moved through the streets. People magazine was there, and an Italian reporter named Paolo Rosato summed up what the entire crowd felt. He told people, "She's like Diana was. Here in Italy, we need a good story, a good representation of family." He didn't say she was like the Queen. He didn't say she was like Camilla. He said Diana. In a country that watched Diana tour in 1985 and never forgot her, the crowd looked at Catherine and saw the same thing. Camilla has toured Italy with Charles. Nobody leaned out of a window, and the causes Catherine brought with her prove the comparison isn't just visual, it's structural. Number 2, Catherine took over Diana's Children's Hospice. January 2025. Catherine was announced as the official patron of Tai Hafan Children's Hospice in Wales. And the detail that hit hardest, the previous patron, was Diana. Princess Diana held the patronage for years before she died. When she was gone, the role sat empty. For 28 years. Let me say that again. 28 years, that seat sat empty. Not Camilla, not Sophie, not any other senior royal. The hospice waited, and then Catherine stepped in. She visited the hospice in Sully near Cardiff, spent time with children and families on the ward, and wrote, "I have the immense privilege of seeing for myself the extraordinary work of our children's hospices, lifting spirits through laughter, fun, and play, as well as listening, holding, caring, and sharing." She didn't just take a charity, she took Diana's charity, the one Diana chose, the one the institution left empty for nearly 3 decades because nobody felt right filling it, until Diana's daughter-in-law did. And the next cause tells the same story, because it's the one Diana made visible and Catherine made permanent. Number 3, mental health was Diana's battlefield. Catherine built the fortress. Diana broke the stigma. She sat on hospital beds. She held the hands of patients the country was afraid to touch. She shook hands with AIDS patients on live television when the world thought you could catch it from skin contact. She talked about her own bulimia on national television in the 1995 Panorama interview when admitting mental illness could end a public career overnight. Catherine took that open door and built an institution behind it. Heads Together with William and Harry in 2016, the biggest mental health campaign in British royal history. The Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood in 2021 focused on the first 5 years of a child's life. The Shaping Us campaign in 2023, patron of the Maternal Mental Health Alliance in 2022. She read The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark on CBeebies Bedtime Stories to mark Children's Mental Health Week. She launched the Mother Nature video series in May 2025 to connect nature with mental well-being. Diana opened the wound in public so the country would stop pretending it wasn't there. Catherine is healing it through policy, research, and institutional change. Both women did what the institution told them was too personal. Both did it anyway. The difference is that Catherine has a husband who backs her. Diana didn't. I really want to get to number 9, the moment the crowd made the handover impossible to deny. But first, 4 through 8, because those are the ones where Catherine carried Diana's memory without saying her name. Number 4, Catherine wears Diana's clothes, deliberately. This isn't coincidence. Royal fashion correspondents have documented it for years. Catherine wears Catherine Walker, Diana's favorite designer, to the most major public events. At the 2026 Trooping the Color, she wore a pale blue Catherine Walker ensemble, almost identical to the one Diana wore for Easter in 1987. At a 2025 Six Nations rugby match, she wore a red and white houndstooth jacket from Catherine Walker that matched the Moschino jacket Diana wore to Canada in 1991. She's recreated Diana's royal blue suit from 1992, Diana's polka dot dresses, Diana's color palette, Diana's silhouettes. Every outfit is a message you read instantly. I'm carrying her forward, and I'm doing it where the cameras can see, and the ring on her finger tells the same story every single day. Number 5. Catherine wears Diana's ring every single day. The 12-carat sapphire surrounded by 14 diamonds. Gerard, 1981. The ring Charles gave Diana the day they announced their engagement. William chose it for Catherine. He said, "This is my way of keeping her close to it all." That ring is on Catherine's hand at every state dinner, every walkabout, every hospital visit, every photograph. It is the most visible piece of jewelry in the world, and every time it catches the light on camera, the country sees Diana's ring on the hand of the woman replacing Camilla in the public's heart. And the Met Gala refusal proves Catherine knows exactly what she's doing. Number 6. Catherine refused the Met Gala because it was too Diana. Anna Wintour, the most powerful woman in fashion, made what sources called an aggressive effort to get Catherine as her marquee guest at the Met Gala. Rob Shooter reported in his Naughty But Nice Substack that landing Catherine had become something of an obsession for Wintour. Kate is the one celebrity Anna wants and cannot get. But Catherine declined because she knew attending meant walking the same steps Diana once walked. Sources told Shooter she saw the entire proposition as too calculated, too obvious, and far too loaded. Think about that. Catherine turned down the biggest fashion invitation in the world because it would make the Diana comparison too explicit. She doesn't want the comparison to be performed. She wants it to be felt. Number 7, Catherine raises her children the way Diana fought to. Diana broke every rule the palace set. She took William and Harry to theme parks, to McDonald's, to homeless shelters, to AIDS wards. She wanted her sons to see how people really lived. The palace fought her on it. They told her it wasn't appropriate for future kings to stand in a queue at a burger counter. She did it anyway. Catherine does the same. She takes George, Charlotte, and Louis to public events without the stiff formality the institution prefers. She wears a bracelet engraved with their initials, GCL. She's been photographed doing school runs, buying groceries, and playing with them in the park. Christopher Anderson, whose biography, Kate, was published in 2026, wrote, "Both were charismatic, compassionate, and could connect with people on a very human level." But he added the key difference. Kate has one thing Diana didn't have, a husband who truly loves and supports her. Diana fought the institution alone. Catherine has a partner who is building the same childhood Diana wanted for her sons, for the next generation. And that difference, the husband, is why the handover worked, because William isn't fighting Catherine. He's clearing the path for her, every single day. Number 8. The cancer video changed everything. March 22, 2024. Catherine sat on a bench in the garden at Windsor and told the world she had cancer. No palace spokesperson, no written statement read by an aide. Her voice, her face, her words. The video was released through Kensington Palace, not Buckingham Palace. That detail matters more than most people realize. She chose William's house, not Charles's house, to make the most vulnerable announcement any royal has ever made. The public response was the largest outpouring of emotion for a member of the royal family since September 1997. Since Diana, people described Catherine as brave. They said she was real. They felt she was one of us. And in an institution criticized for generations for its emotional distance, Catherine's openness did what Diana's Panorama interview did 30 years earlier. It made the country love a royal as a human being, not as a title, not as a wave from a balcony. As a woman, they felt they knew. Time magazine named Catherine runner-up for Person of the Year in 2024. Google ranked her the most searched person in the UK that year. The country responded to vulnerability the same way it always has, the same way it responded to Diana. And the comparison Camilla can never win got louder overnight. Stay with me, because number 9 is the Italy moment that sealed it, the one where the crowd didn't just compare Catherine to Diana, they replaced her. Number 9, the Italian crowd made the handover obvious. May 13, 2026, Reggio Emilia. Catherine walked through Piazza Camillo Prampolini, the main square, surrounded by thousands of people who'd waited hours to see her. The Italians call what happened a bagno di foglia, a bath in the crowd. It's the phrase they use when the crowd isn't just watching, it's absorbing you. Women held children above their heads so Catherine could see them. People reached out just to touch her hand. Teachers at the preschool she visited wept openly. Hello, reported locals had been talking about the visit for weeks before she arrived. And the comparison nobody could ignore. Diana toured Italy in 1985. The photographs from that tour, Diana in a white suit walking through Venice, Diana at the Vatican meeting the Pope, Diana in Florence holding hands with local children, are some of the most famous royal images ever taken. 41 years later, Catherine walked through the same country and the same thing happened. The same tears, the same reaching hands, the same desperate need to be close to her, the same reverence the world reserved for one woman and one woman only. And somewhere in Britain, Camilla watched the news coverage of the Italian crowds reaching for Catherine. And honestly, watching that footage is the moment it hit me. The handover was complete, and it happened without anyone needing to announce it. I really want to get to number 15, the quiet sign Catherine carries it on purpose. But first, 10 through 14, because those are the numbers that prove the institution itself has chosen Catherine over Camilla. Number 10, the polls don't lie. YouGov, April 2024. Catherine, the most popular member of the royal family, more popular than William, more popular than Charles, more popular than Camilla, who polled at 42% positive against 45% negative. Think about that. More people dislike Camilla than like her. Catherine polled higher than everyone. Ipsos ranked Catherine first in overall favorability in April 2023. Time magazine named her to the Time 100 Health list in May 2025 for her cancer awareness work. The Independent included her on its influence list every year from 2023 to 2026. Google, most searched person in the UK in 2024, second most searched globally. The British fashion industry credited her with boosting sales by up to £1 billion in a single year. Diana was the most famous woman in the world. Catherine is becoming the most trusted woman in Britain. And Camilla doesn't rank on either list. The public has voted, not at a ballot box, with their eyes, with their phones, with the people they search for at midnight when nobody's watching. And the institution noticed, because the institution started using Catherine the same way it once used Diana. Number 11, the institution deploys Catherine strategically. Christopher Anderson wrote it plainly. Apart from her obvious crowd-pleasing star power, no one wields soft power more deftly than Kate. When the monarchy is leading a charm offensive at a state banquet, it's no coincidence that Kate is deployed in a strategic spot to the honored guest's immediate right. And the result is always the same. They are all totally captivated. That's not the biographer's opinion. That's the institution's strategy. During the U.S. state visit in September 2025, Catherine and Melania Trump presented scout badges together at Frogmore Gardens. CNN described it as a more humanizing moment. During the France state visit in July 2025, President Macron was photographed making a toast directly to Catherine at Windsor Castle. The institution doesn't seat Camilla next to world leaders at strategic dinners. They seat Catherine because they know the effect. Diana had the same power over world leaders. Anderson wrote, World leaders behave like smitten little boys in her presence. The institution destroyed that power when it destroyed Diana. Now they're deploying it again, through Diana's daughter-in-law. Number 12. Catherine was called the monarchy's saving grace. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams told Fox News Digital that Catherine is no longer the monarchy's secret weapon. She has become its greatest asset. Ailsa Anderson, Queen Elizabeth's former press secretary, said, "She is our future queen. As Queen Elizabeth used to say, you have to be seen to be believed. She is glamorous. She is beautiful. She is warm and approachable." Camilla Tominey of The Telegraph called her the monarchy's greatest asset. Petronella Wyatt called her the jewel in the crown. Catherine Mayer, royal author, was blunt about the stakes. Princess Anne and the other senior working royals are all stretched thin, and none of them are young. William and Catherine carry the whole thing. That's not praise. That's the monarchy admitting it depends on Diana's daughter-in-law. Nobody has ever said the monarchy depends on Camilla. Nobody has ever called Camilla the saving grace. The institution knows where its future lives. It lives in the woman wearing Diana's ring. Number 13, Catherine's carol service replaced the Queen's Christmas. Together at Christmas, Westminster Abbey, every December, Catherine hosts it. 1,600 guests filling the nave, performers like Hannah Waddingham, Kate Winslet, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Bastille's Dan Smith, candles lining the aisles, readings about community, kindness, and connection. Catherine curates every detail. She picks the performers. She chooses the readings. She designs the evening. And the country watches it like it's become the emotional center of the royal Christmas season. Millions tune in. The event has become bigger than the King's Christmas broadcast in emotional impact. Diana never got to host an event at Westminster Abbey. She was stripped of her role in the institution before she could build anything this permanent. Camilla was never asked to host it. Catherine does it every year. In the same abbey where Diana's coffin lay. In the same abbey where Catherine married Diana's son. And the country tunes in every December because Catherine gives them something Camilla never could. Warmth that feels real. Number 14. William cleared the path. This didn't happen by accident. William fired Camilla's sister from the duchy, zeroed her family's income, moved the household to Forest Lodge instead of Buckingham Palace, named his daughter Charlotte Elizabeth Diana, put Diana's ring on Catherine's hand, made Diana's charities his charities, and at every turn he positioned Catherine as the visible future of the monarchy, while Camilla faded into the background. He didn't just marry Catherine, he built a stage for her, the same stage the institution demolished under Diana's feet, and he made sure nobody could demolish it again. And now 15, the quiet sign. Number 15, Catherine carries Diana on purpose, and she doesn't need to say it. She wears the ring, she wears the earrings, she wears the designer, she carries the causes. She visits the hospices Diana visited. She holds the children Diana held. She faces the cameras with the same calm Diana showed the world when the world was tearing her apart. And she does all of it without ever saying Diana's name in a press conference or an interview. She doesn't need to. Because every time Catherine walks into a room, the room already knows whose daughter-in-law she is. The crowd leans forward. The cameras focus. The Italian reporters say it out loud. The fashion correspondents document every outfit. The comparisons write themselves in real time. And somewhere in the frame, always somewhere in the frame, Camilla is watching. Because Camilla knows what the crowd knows, what the polls know, what the hospice knew when it waited 28 years. The woman they loved is gone. But the woman carrying her forward is standing right there, wearing her ring, raising her grandchildren, living the life Diana was supposed to live. Diana didn't get to be queen. Catherine will. And the country that mourned one Princess of Wales is about to crown the next one. Diana won. She won through Catherine, and every crowd that leans forward proves it. Those were the 15 ways Catherine has taken Diana's place in front of millions. From an Italian crowd that said she is like Diana was, to a children's hospice patronage that sat empty for 28 years waiting for the right woman. Camilla has watched every one of these moments happen from the edge of the frame, and the comparison she can never win gets louder every time Catherine walks into a room. The things Camilla will never keep once Diana's HRH is restored are the reason this handover feels like destiny. If you want to see those things, that video is right here.